Hi, thanks so much for joining in. You're watching Ask Profit on NDTV Profit. My name is Alex Matthew. With me is Mahima Vachrajani, and we'll take you through the next 1 hour of trade. Quite a bit of chop and churn on the screen, and that continues from yesterday's session where you saw the benchmark drop about 1/3% or thereabouts. We're down about 0.2%, and we've broken below the 24,900 mark very briefly. Let's see if that continues to be the case. And like yesterday, once again, you are seeing a pretty narrow range for the benchmark Nifty 50. Let's look at the contributors and see what's moving the needle for the benchmark Nifty 50. And yesterday, you saw a few heavyweights drag, and those same names are at the bottom today as well. The likes of HDFC Bank, ICICI Bank, Reliance Industries, Eternal losing ground. By the way, Eternal in focus on account of that board meeting that's ongoing. On the top end of the screen, and you have a few IT names that are up and about, and we were discussing this in the India Market Open show, where IT as a pack is playing a game of tic-tac-toe seemingly, where one day it's positive, one day it's negative. Yesterday it was the worst loser, today it's up about 0.9%. In fact, the IT index, let's pull that up and see where it is at right now. 0.9% higher for the IT index. Banks, on the other hand, proving to be a bit of a drag, down about 0.4% or thereabouts. In fact, let's also look at the sectoral picture to see what is moving the needle. I won't be surprised if defense is losing ground. Yeah, see, there you go. Right at the bottom of the screen, you have the defense pack that is losing about 2% or thereabouts, and is cooling off from the frenetic run that it's had over the course of last week. Yesterday, you saw some signs of a cool-off, and that continues in trade today. What's also not doing well is the auto pack, which, by the way, has run up quite considerably as well, and something like a Bajaj Auto maybe in trade losing ground. Let's pull that up and see what it's doing today. Okay, so we pulled up the entire list. Bajaj Auto down about 1% or thereabouts after yesterday's stellar move, 3% plus. Aisha down about 1% or so. Hero is also losing about 1.5%. And I think the thesis, Mahima, is that the run-up that you saw may be unsustainable, considering that the signs that you're seeing are not the best for automakers. We spoke with Hyundai earlier today, and the outlook for FY26 domestic growth, they're saying they're going to track the domestic industry, which is expected to grow in volume terms just about 1%, which is not too much, really. Okay. So it's a little tepid, it's a little quiet. The broader market's also a little choppy in trade. That's how it's looking right now.
Absolutely. And I think the entire consumption space, if you include auto also in the consumption space, it's the same story, right? Volumes are not picking up, whereas value-wise, things are going up. And that's the only thing that's showing up on the top line, unfortunately. Yeah. I mean, some other names that are also buzzing on the back of earnings, there's Questcorp taking significant heating in trade today, down by about 9%. Some defense name, Cochin Shipyard, Paras down almost 7%. DOM seeing profit booking today. HEG down 5%. Railtail, right? Some railway counters also seeing profit booking, down by about 5%. Some counters doing really well in terms of its earnings. Actually, Glasscoat locked in upper circuit of 20%. Zensartec doing well, 8%. Banco doing very well today as well. Yesterday was locked in upper circuit of 20%. Today up 8%. Newgen Software, another day of gain for this particular counter, up 6%. DLF up 5%. GMM Pfaudler also up 5%. So all of these names, Alex, buzzing in trade today on the back of earnings and of course news flow.
Yeah, no doubt. And a few of those stocks in the broader market is doing particularly well. By the way, Amber Enterprises also doing quite well. It started a little tepid, but it's gained ground. There's a CLSA note out that is quite positive on the stock. It's up about 4% at this point. I wonder what our experts have to say about that. We've got Swati Hotkar, AVP Technical Research at Nirmal Bang, as well as Astha Jain, Senior Research Analyst at Hem Securities. Thank you so much, ladies, for taking the time. Good morning to you. Let me ask the first question, and this one's on WhatsApp. And by the way, I didn't mention, you see the numbers on your screen. You can message us on the number on the top of the screen, and you can call us on the landline number on the bottom of the screen, and we're happy to speak with you. Suvadeep Chatterjee has got a question in the cement space, and he's got 50 shares of Ultratech Cement. 9,000 rupees is the buy price, and he's holding for the long term, so he's making a stellar gain here. He wants to invest in cement for a swing trade. Should he add Ultratech or ACC at the current level? And why don't I extend that back, Swati, and talk about the entire cement space? You can even go broader and look at some of the smaller names. What would you pick?
Whatever the position the Ultratech Cement they have, definitely they should hold on at the current market price just because he's earning a very good handsome money. The interesting fact that on a larger degree, if you look at the monthly chart, the stock is under the formations of the flag pattern and it's on the verge of giving the breakout. So Alex, I believe that this positive momentum is likely to be seen in the near term also, which might take a counter towards to 13,000 to 14,000 levels. Up to that level, I'm looking forward the positive momentum into the Ultratech. No need to add on at the current market price. Just hold on if you want to add on the another counter into from the cement pack itself. ACC really looks good because if you look towards on the ACC chart, this particular counter has shown a very strong retracements level from 2600 to 1800. Now we have seen the 100% retracement which rally we have witnessed in the 2023 to 24 levels. So after such kind of a correction, I believe that we are likely to see some sort of a trend reversal from the current market price because the risk reward ratio is really favorable and it has formed a very good sound supports nearby 1800 levels. So if you want to take any long positions on a fresh side from the cement pack, ACC looks attractive. The short-term target will be at 2200 and beyond that level, 2300 levels can be seen. So ACC will be the top pick from the current market price.
Okay, so that's the view with regards to where the cement pack stands, and hold is the view on Ultratech and buy is the view on ACC. All right, our first call for the day, Basav Raj is calling in from Bengaluru. Basav Raj, a very good morning to you. How can we help you?
Very good. Good morning, madam.
Good morning. Go ahead with your query.
I have purchased 100 shares of Alkylamine.
Okay.
At average price of 2112.
Okay.
My query is whether should I average it or exit. I'm ready to hold. I'm a long-term investor.
You're a long-term investor. Okay. Just wanted to follow up on this one. Any particular thoughts as to why you bought Alkylamine specifically?
No. I wanted this chemical sector in my portfolio. For diversification, I purchased this.
Okay, got your point. Asta, good morning to you, and I'll take this up with you. Alkylamines is the counter. Should he continue to hold at the current levels, or if he wants to, diversify his portfolio and invest in a chemical company, what would that be?
Hi, good morning to all of you out there. So talking about this counter, basically what we have seen that there was a growth, but it was basically volume-led growth. But there was some pressure in the pricing also, which we have seen in the results. And that is why I think this counter will yield the results, but not in a very short run, in a very long run, because we really need to see the coming quarterly results. In this quarter, there was some pricing pressure, which we have seen. And that is why I recommend to hold it for a longer time period, maybe for 3 to 6 months, with a price target of around 2100 only, which is the cost price as of now. Looking after other chemical stocks, I think Navin Fluorine is very strong counter in that space. So if anyone wants to go for any other chemical counter, then we prefer Navin Fluorine in that space. But regarding Alkylamine, I think there is no need to book loss. Just hold this counter. Maybe time period can vary from 3 to 6 months.
All right. Just a quick follow-up and a quick one. Asta, do you think that the margin expansion that you've seen in a few of these specialty chemical names is sustainable, or do you think that it's something that could turn negative in the first half of this year?
So basically what I feel is that the pricing power is playing right now a very important role, and that is why we have seen the alkylamines was also not able to maintain its margins. So we really need to see how these manufacturers will be able to sustain the pricing power. But I think in the coming quarters, definitely we can see some sort of expansion in the margin on the basis of the strong demand which we are getting. And that is why I think that demand will definitely help the margins to be at the sustainable level. So overall, we believe that margins will be rising from here on. But for the alkylamines, I think it will take another 1 to 2 quarters more to show that sort of growth.
Okay, all right. So that's a view on the chemical space and specifically on alkyl amines. IREDA is the name of the counter, IREDA, and we're taking the next question from Srinivas, who's writing in from Andhra Pradesh. He's bought at levels of 236 and he's got 450 shares. He's wondering whether to hold on to this. He's bought at slightly elevated levels. Swati, on the charts, what would you do with IREDA?
The chart doesn't look that much promising for a shorter period of time, but definitely on a longer duration, if we check, we have seen a very strong retracement from 300 to 150 level. Now, stock is under the consolidation phase. It got stuck within the range of 190 to 160, 150 levels. So as of now, it is under the consolidation. Any move on either side will decide the clear trend of the market. But if you look towards the weekly chart as such, I believe that the momentum indicators such as the RSI, which we looks on the technical front, looks positive. Try to average it out at the current level price so that your buying price will come down and you will earn a good amount of money if the stock manages to give the positive rally towards the 240 to 250 level. Up to that level, I'm looking for targets on the higher side. So hold your long position at the CMP if possible. Try to average it out at the CMP. Downside, it has a very good support at around 150 level. So as long as it's hold that level, a positive move can be witnessed in the near-term future for short-term targets of a 220 to 240 levels.
So that's the view with regards to where IREDA stands. The next caller, Pradeep, is calling in from Visakhapatnam. Pradeep, a very good morning to you. How can we help you?
Yeah, good morning, Mahimaji and Alex. Thank you for the inputs and for the experts also. It has been very helpful for me. And I look forward to the show every day.
Thank you so much.
My query is regarding HAL. I have bought 70 shares of HAL at 4645.
Okay.
2 days back, it was touching 5145. I thought of selling it, but I withhold it.
Okay.
Is there any upside to it? Such that I'm looking for the level of 5,000
Okay.
to sell and again buy at dips.
Buy tips. Okay, and you saw the technical charts, I believe, before buying HL.
Yes.
And
yes.
Even in short term, from a shorter term perspective, what's the time horizon that you can continue to hold HL?
Yeah, it's 3 months.
3 months, okay. And also, Pradeep, thank you so much for the compliment. It means a lot to us. Swati, I'll take this up with you. HAL, he's sitting on a profit of 19,000 odd rupees right now. What's the view like? Should he continue to hold from a next 3 months perspective and reach that 5,000 level, or should he book profits right now and again enter?
The 5,000 level is not too far away. It probably the 1 to 2 trading session also we might witness some sort of that levels. But the concern is that on the daily chart, the counter is trading in the overbought zone, and we are already witnessing some sort of a negative divergence on the RSI front. So we might hit some sort of a profit bookings at the higher level because already the counter has given a very smart rally from 3,800 to 5,100 levels. So the profit bookings cannot be denied at the higher levels. So I will suggest you to book your hold your long positions. If possible, try to keep a profit stop loss of 48.50 levels on the lower side and hold your long positions more than 5,000 levels. You will definitely get a upside towards at least 5,080 to 5,100 levels. So those are the target I'm looking forward. But try to maintain the profit stop loss of a 4,850 and hold your long positions.
Long positions on HAL. All right, so that's a view on this stock that is in the defense pack that is doing particularly well. The next question is from Nigeria, and we've got Vijay Pratap Singh, who points out that it is just about 6:10 in the morning and he's tuning in bright and early. He's asking about Ola Electric, which he's bought a significant quantity of 55,000 shares. At a price of 52 rupees. I hope that I'm reading this right. And it's not too far away from the current market price, but he is losing ground. The stock is currently at 52. He's got a long-term perspective and he's looking at whether or not to hold this 2 or 3 years. Asta, it's not rewarded shareholders, and there are a few issues that it continues to be grappling with. Would you suggest a hold or an exit at this point?
Alex, I need your help. At what price he has taken the counter?
He's bought at levels of 62 and the stock price is, or 61 and the stock price is 52.
Okay. So now talking about this counter, I think there are certain problems which the company is facing. And in that regard also now what we have received the new information from the company that they will be considering, issuance of the debt securities in order to raise the fund. And I think the meeting is scheduled on 22nd or 23rd of this month only. So I think now it seems that the company has started facing certain issues, and what we have seen with the launch of the Ether Energy IPO, which is one of the pair of the company, the product line which the company is having. I mean, the kind of product they are having, it is not now receiving so much of traction in the market. And that is why if we look after the data also, their market share has been considerable, has shown a considerable reduction also. So we are not very much positive on this counter. The only problem is that the cost price is high at which the investor has taken the counter. So definitely by exiting at the current level, it will yield some losses. My idea here is to exit partially from this counter and remain invested in the partial quantity, but don't hold the entire quantity now because fundamentals are not seem to be very strong at this point of the time. So this is what we can suggest regarding Ola Electric: book partial losses and hold the partial quantity for a few months at least.
So that's a view on Ola Electric. Let's turn to an exclusive update that NDTV Profit is picking up, and this has to do with IDFC First Bank. If you've been tuned in to NDTV Profit, you will know the context, but in case you don't, let me remind you, yesterday you had domestic institutions that voted against the election of a director on the board for Warburg Pincus, which is a new investor in IDFC First. Vishwanath Nair joining in. He brought you exclusive information about why they voted against that resolution yesterday. Vishy, lay the context for us, and what is the latest that you picked up?
So last month, IDFC First Bank announced that they're raising money from Warburg Pincus and ADIA. Now, Warburg Pincus, because of the amount of money that they're investing, they're getting about 10% stake in the bank, and it was customary, it is normal for a 10% stakeholder to have a seat on the bank's board. So there was a proposal put in front of the shareholders to appoint a non-retiring representative from Warburg Pincus to join IDFC First Bank's board. Now, what happened, however, is that when the shareholders voted, a majority of the domestic institutional investors voted against this proposal. What we understand from sources is this is primarily because of the non-retiring clause that exists on this recommendation. Of course, currently, what our sources are telling us is that the bank is working with these domestic institutions to allay any concerns that they may have. Now, what the final representation will look like, we do not know at this point in time, but we will hopefully see these concerns being allayed, and then, of course, these domestic institutions voting in favor of allowing a Warburg Pincus representative to be on the board. Now, the primary objection was that this non-retiring clause is a problem for a private equity investor to come into the bank, because private equity investors typically go out and then reduce a stake, raise a stake, depending on whatever their strategic interests are in the bank. And what the domestic institutional investors seem to be thinking is that a non-retiring position is too much power for a private equity investor. So now the discussion is whether this non-retiring clause needs to be there or not. I repeat that we do not know what the final clause is going to look like, but it does seem that the bank is allaying the concerns of these domestic institutions now.
Okay, so just to be very clear, and of course this is obvious from non-retiring, but this means that you have a permanent seat on the board.
A permanent seat on the board, essentially somebody who's not liable for retirement, so you can't remove them unless they step down on their own.
Got it. Okay. All right. Vishy, thanks so much for bringing us those details. And of course, Vishwanath Nair will be back when you have clarity, when he has clarity on what has emerged and what is proposed by IDFC First on this development. We've got our next caller on the show. We've got Ravi calling us from Hyderabad. Very good morning, Ravi. How can we help you today? Ravi, can you hear me? Okay, we'll wait for Ravi to call us back. In the meanwhile, let me get Ashwini's question answered. Ashwini's writing in from Chennai asking about Piramal Pharma, borrowed levels of 217 and incurring a loss at this juncture. If I remember correctly, Piramal Pharma results were this week. Asa, have you looked at the numbers? What did you make of it? And would you suggest a hold on this?
Yes, they have announced the numbers this week only, and what we have seen in the quarterly performance especially is there is a single-digit growth, especially 8% growth in their revenue and EBITDA. It is what we have seen. So, I mean, the growth is there, but it is not very strong. But yes, the bottom line has shown a good growth, because bottom line, and that too, I think it is the inclusion of some exceptional item which was there in the last year's result. So that is why bottom line growth seems to be strong. But top line and EBITDA is looking okay to us. Now, talking about this counter, the yearly results are in the fine shape, and we believe that net debt to EBITDA ratio has improved significantly for this counter. So all these parameters are signaling towards a good upside from here, but not in the short term. In the longer run. So my idea here is to stay invested in this counter with a price target of 230 to 240 in the medium term.
So that's the view with regards to where Piramal Pharma stands. Our next question is on an interesting stock which saw significant downtick in trade yesterday. Let's pull up Protean eGov and see what it's doing in trade right now. Kanishk Raj wants to know whether if this is the right time to make an entry into this counter or not. The stock is seeing a downtick of almost 9% in trade today as well. Asa, I'll come to you on this one specifically because yesterday's news, in terms of they being no longer contended for government's PAN 2.0 project was a big negative for Protean eGov per se. But the management in the con call did come out and clarify that it might not have a very significant impact on their financials per se, but the street clearly is not perceiving it in that way. The stock did see a downtick of 20% today, almost seeing a downtick of 9% today. But do you think that the financials are strong enough to make an entry at this point when the stock has seen a significant downtick?
So what I think is that right now it is not the current, not at the current level one should make entry into this counter because we believe that street is still not convinced and hence we are seeing a sharp downfall in the stock prices. Maybe this downfall can be extended to the level of 1,000 to 980. So I think those are the good levels to make entry into this counter and we still need to see how the things pan out for this company. So right now don't directly jump into this counter. Let this counter stabilize at around those levels until that time some more clarity can be seen and then one can make the entry. So right now our idea is do not buy at the current level. Buying is recommended some more, under some more dips.
Okay. All right. Let's take the next question. It's a caller. Nagarjuna is calling us from Andhra Pradesh. Good morning, Nagarjuna. How can we help you today?
Yeah, good morning, sir.
Please go ahead.
I bought it NCC at 205 price 1,000 quantity. Can I hold it?
Okay. And when you bought it at 205,000 quantity, what was the thinking? Did you buy it based on the fundamentals or did you buy it as a trading strategy?
No, sir. I bought from fundamentals because there is a lot of orders to Amravati region for the state capital. They are the major projects.
Right.
And the company is fundamentally, technically very good.
Got it.
That is the reason I bought it.
Okay. So you don't have a rush to sell the stock, right?
Yes, sir. I don't have a rush to sell the stock.
Okay. All right. Asta, on the fundamentals, then the question is, he's seeing a decent gain at this point. What is the potential for the upside based on the fundamentals?
So fundamentals seems to be quite okay for this counter, first of all. And yes, in the quarterly results, we were not very much convinced with the kind of the bottom line this company has posted because if I remember it correctly, there was some minor degrowth in the bottom line of Q4 numbers. I'm talking about Q4 numbers as of now, not full year 25 numbers. So it was a 8% sort of degrowth. It was there, but it is one of the largest, or second largest construction company in the listed space. So this company is very large. In fact, they have got a very strong orders and the kind of industry tailwind we are looking after. I think they have a good and a strong potential to move up from here. So yes, I think fundamentally also it seems to be good. Maybe in the short term due to, not very strong quarterly numbers, the stock might not show that sort of upside momentum. But in the medium to long term, we are positive and optimistic on this counter. Remain invested with a price target of 270 to 280.
So that's with regards to where NCC stands. The next question is on NLC India. Bala wants to know the target for the next 1 week for this counter. In terms of earnings, it came out with its earnings yesterday where revenue was up 8%, EBITDA was up 43%, margins significantly improved to 22.5% and net profit was up almost fourfold. And there was an income of around 820 odd crores due to movement in regulatory referral account, which has overall impacted the financials in terms of a positive way. Swati, I'll come to you on this one though. In terms of the charts, what are they indicating? The stock is up 4% today Is this the right time to make an entry, and what's the target like for the next 1 week?
Mahima, the chart are really positive, but I will not suggest to make the fresh entry at the current market price, because on the today intraday basis, we have seen a spike of 270, 257 rupees on a high side, and from there onwards, we are witnessing some sort of a profit booking or say the selling pressures. If you want to create any long positions, I will suggest any dips towards 235 to between the 240 levels, one can go for a long positions, because the risk reward ratio will be favorable. The history says that the stock has formed a multiple support at around 220 levels, so that will act as a very crucial support level as well as the stop loss for the long positions. Upside momentums can be seen once the stock manages to give the positive closing above 250 levels. So the today's closing will play a very important role in this particular counter. If it manages to give the positive closing about 250, this rally is likely to be extended towards 265 to 270 levels on the high side. So I will suggest just wait for a time period, let the stock correct on an intraday basis, or at least for 1 to 2 trading session. If you're getting any dips towards 235 levels, one can go for a long position, but not at the current market price.
Okay, not at the current market price, but if the stock falls around 235, then you can make an entry. Is the view coming in on NLC India. All right, our next caller, Shailendra, is calling in from Odisha. Shailendra, very good morning to you. How can we help you?
Very good morning, madam. Madam, I'm having Torrent Power.
Okay.
500 shares. 500 shares at the rate of 1100.
Okay.
I'm a long-term investor with a 2 years time frame.
Okay.
So kindly suggest whether I should hold it for 2 years.
Okay. Shailendra, just wanted to get a sense as to what was the thinking behind buying Torrent Power, because you entered at the right levels and you're making a profit of over $1 lakh.
Madam, I think that power consumption will be increased from day by day, and in for future it will be in demand. That's why I've taken this up.
That's absolutely correct. Asa, I'll quickly come to you on this one. I mean, the line of thinking is perfect when it comes to Shailendra. What's the outlook like for Torrent Power? Should we continue to hold for the next 2 years?
Yes, one should, because what we are seeing now in the, in fact, in the result itself, that they have started seeing the increased contribution from the gas-based power plant. So that seems to be really good to us. And in fact, they have now getting the contribution in the revenue, which is at the higher level from some of the licensed and the franchise distribution business also. So I think now the overall, in fact, in this result, there was some reversal in the tax liabilities also. And hence we have seen some sort of adjustment there. But overall, yes, the industry tailwind is good. The gas-based power plant has started contributing significantly in the top line of the company. On that basis, we find it as a good long-term bet and remain invested in this counter is what we can recommend at this point of a time. Although we are limiting our price target at the initial level to around 1500 to 1520.
Okay, a good long-term bet is the view coming in on Torrent Power with a target price of 1500 from Asta. All right, with that, it's time to step into a very short break, but we'll be right back with an interesting management conversation as well as more queries on the other side, so stay tuned.
तू ही तो है जिसकी सच्चाई वाली क्लैरिटी की वजह से मैं आज यहाँ हूँ।
गोल्ड प्लस सिल्वॉक्सी मिरर्स, ऐसी क्लैरिटी कि आपको सिर्फ सच नजर आए, चाहे कितने भी साल बीत जाएं।
Do you really know the company you invest in? What is the real picture behind presentations and claims? Is the outlook as rosy as the company claims? Know Your Company, powered by NDTV Profit Research, shines a light on the biggest stock market movers.
Headlines you start your day with. What matters worldwide is now in the palm of your hands. Get ready to seize the day and maximize your financial potential. Stay ahead of the curve with all you need to know on NDTV Profit.
Do Do you really know the company you invest in? What is the real picture behind?
Welcome back. You're watching Ask Profit, and we have a very interesting conversation with Heritage Foods. Now, it came out with its earnings yesterday, and it's been a good quarter. Revenue is up 10%, EBITDA up 14%, margins have improved a tad bit, and there's a strong procurement when it comes to their milk, and there's improved sourcing efficiencies as well. And on the back of that, we've seen margin improvement. Now, to discuss as to how the quarter has gone by and how FY25 has shaped up, we're joined by Brahmani Nara, Executive Director at Heritage Foods, joining us now. Very good morning to you, Brahmani. My first question to you is, it's been a good quarter overall in terms of how Heritage Foods has performed. Just wanted to get your sense as to how has it been as per your expectations? And in terms of the overall growth, what does the volume versus volume growth be like? Value versus volume growth.
Thank you so much for having me, first off. It's been, I think, a strong performance for us in terms of revenues. We've earned 4,135 crores at the consolidated level. And I think we've consistently delivered over 1,000 crores in revenue every single quarter when it comes to FY25 performance. Aside from that, margins also have been trending quite strong. Our Q4 EBITDA margins were higher than the previous year, stood at 7.6%, and our financial year FY25 margins, EBITDA margins also stood at 8%, and we've recorded quarter-on-quarter, Q3 to Q4 margin growth as well. Aside from that, there was strong growth in value-added dairy products. As reported by us, our value-added product contribution to our overall revenue increased by 2.4% approximately, which is a huge increase year on year. And it stood at 32.5%. If I had to add consumer pack fat sale to our value-added products, the growth was much higher in terms of contribution of revenues year on year. The growth was at 3.7% for Q4 and 3.3% for the financial year FY25. So over and all, we have shown strong growth, both in terms of revenues as well as margins, which we hope to continue to deliver going forward.
Ms. Nara, morning, and thanks so much for joining us this morning. Alex here. Just want to get a sense on the volume picture, what you've seen so far, and you explained that perfectly. Can you give us a sense of the outlook and what you're seeing on the ground right now? Will that mix of value-added products continue to rise? What is the contribution mix that you see in this current financial year?
Sure. We obviously are looking at a continuously growing trend of value-added products. In fact, if you looked at the previous year itself, the growth of value-added products in terms of volumes was at the high teens level, much higher than milk growth. So, that's something that's really positive for us. And we are sure that we will continue to deliver on these growths. And if I had to specifically speak about certain value-added product categories, curd, which is the largest contributor, was at 12% growth in terms of volumes in the previous financial year. Aside from that, other core value-added products such as paneer, which had grown north of 60% in terms of volume, has done very well. Our buttermilk has also done really well with over 40% growth in terms of sales volumes, as well as consumer fat, consumer products growth also in terms of volumes has grown significantly. Ghee has grown north of 35% in terms of volumes, and this is our peak season, Q1. It is the summer season wherein a lot of our value-added products get sold, and we are confident to move in the right direction to improve our value-added product contribution to our overall revenue to say about 40% plus in the next 3 to 4 years.
Brahmani, if that goes to 40%, just wanted to get a sense, because your margins have been improving and that trajectory has continued. Just wanted to get a sense that how will the margins then improve, because I believe that value-added products will have better margins. So from if I'm not wrong, overall in FY25, you've done almost 8% in terms of your operating margins. Where will that number go going ahead?
So you're right, value-added products have a much higher EBITDA as well as net margins compared to milk. And more importantly, our product mix or product portfolio is such that most of our revenue from value-added product comes from fresh products such as, curd, buttermilk, paneer, etc. So the margins this will only contribute towards improving our margins going forward. In addition to that, we're investing into premiumization of our existing value-added products. One proposition that's taken off really well for us within existing products is probiotic buttermilk. Another proposition is the protein proposition within paneer. All of our milk is fortified end to end. So all these propositions in existing products are also helping us as a brand garner premium in the market, both in terms of pricing as well as perception. In addition to all of this, we are taking a lot of initiatives on the operational excellence side, and we are digitalizing most of our operations for efficiencies. In addition to that, a lot of our CapEx investments are also going into automation of existing facilities, which will drive margin improvement going forward. Lastly, but not the least, we are also innovating in our existing, bulk of our product, which is milk, which is we are introducing region-specific milk variants. Just to give you one or two examples, we had introduced something called Sarvagun milk in the Delhi, NCR, Haryana area. And the traction is really good. We'd also introduced something called Sampurna milk in the Maharashtra, Mumbai market. That's also seen some really good traction. In addition to that, there are other milk variants such as village buffalo milk, etc., that we have introduced in different markets based on the consumer needs of those specific markets.
Right. Ms. Nara, sorry to belabor the point, but 8% margins is what you achieved. I'm just wondering, based on what you've told us, does that inch up? And to what extent can you expect? Even if you give us a range, that would be fine.
We hope to, our ambition is to obviously improve margins through the various initiatives that I mentioned earlier, and also through selling most of our fat within the system, within the organization through consumer pack versus bulks, fat sale, which would only improve our margins going forward. In fact, the loss from bulk sale had decreased year on year from 40 crores in FY24 to under 3 crores in FY25. So I think given all these initiatives, one can expect a target, EBITDA increase of around 9% in the next couple of years. And we believe we are putting in efforts in that direction to be able to achieve those numbers.
And, Brahmani, one more thing. In this entire value-added product space, there's a lot of competition coming in. There are new startups that are bringing in their products in terms of paneer, ice cream, frozen desserts as well. What's the sense like? Because these brands are really picking up when it comes to your quick commerce space. And you also have very well established your products in the quick commerce space. But what's the strategy in place, and how do you plan to kind of compete with these products?
I think that's a very interesting point, and we are happy that there are many innovative companies that are introducing value-added products and growing, which only means that it's a bigger opportunity for us because there are other players also educating the Indian consumer about the benefits of value-added products and the range of value-added products that are available. We are competing with them, and it's also something that you brought up that we are also investing into new age channels such as e-commerce and quick commerce. So what used to be, say, a 0% contribution of our revenue a couple of years back, today is about 6% contribution of our revenue. So we're seeing great traction in that space. So I think we're there to compete and grow with them and to increase the size of the pie for value-added products and build awareness in the market.
Very interesting point. We're running out of time, but I do want to get some clarity on that acquisition that you've made, the majority stake in Heritage Novandi. And I know that it's not a very large amount of money that you've spent on this, but what is this about?
So Heritage Novandi Foods Private Limited was a 50-50 JV between Heritage Foods and a French company called Novandi. And the company has, decided to reduce its stake in the JV for business priorities changing. And Heritage Foods will now be about 95% shareholder in that particular company, which is an interesting opportunity for us because I think yogurts, which was what the JV was producing, is a very exciting extension to our existing portfolio of products and only propels our growth towards value-added products. And we see significant synergies because the processing facility is actually located in our existing mother plant premises in Maharashtra being an attractive market for yogurts and other value-added products. And aside from yogurts, we are free to manufacture other products as well, such as lassi and curd and other fermented and non-fermented products going forward. In addition to that, there is a lot of interest in co-packing, arrangements with other companies in this particular facility. So I think it's an attractive, synergistic opportunity for Heritage Foods to be able to continue yogurts as well as other value-added products and to be able to cut down costs because it's the same teams that will be managing S&D and supply chain and plant operations, etc. So we believe that within the next 1 or 2 quarters, we will turn around this business and almost immediately increase capacity utilization to north of 50%.
Interesting. Ms. Nara, thanks so much for joining us this morning on NDTV Profit. Pleasure hosting you and look forward to speaking to you soon.
Thank you so much for having me.
All right. So, management of Heritage Foods speaking about the quarter gone by and the outlook going forward. Let's turn back to the questions that we've gotten. We've got several that have piled up, and we really appreciate the patience that you've had. Venkatesh is the first person who I'll take a question from this time. And he's writing in from Chennai asking about Karnataka Bank, which he's bought about a week back. He's got 10 shares at a price of 193 rupees per share. And he's looking for a 2 to 3 year view. Asta, thank you as well, and Swati for your patience. So I'll come to you on this one. What is the view on Karnataka Bank?
So Eric, this is a question to me?
Yes, it is. Asta, to you.
Okay. So Karnataka Bank, I think the kind of results they have posted, that seems to be quite okay. So the average results which we have seen are being posted by this bank. So medium-term outlook is positive. In the short term, we might see some sort of pressure in the prices because we still want to see the more strong asset quality by this bank. And hence our price target for this bank in the medium term, not in the short term, in the medium term is 225 to 230. So remain invested in this counter at least for 3 to 6 months point of view.
Remain invested is the view coming in on Karnataka Bank. All right, the next question is from Krish, who's writing in from Hyderabad and wants a view on Suzlon Energy. I'll take this with you, Swati. I believe he's not entered into this particular counter, but he wants to know if this is the right time to make an entry. Is it correct? The stock is currently trading at 61.
Yes, already we have seen a very strong momentum rally, Mahima, from 55 to 61 levels. And I believe that it is forming a cluster resistance nearby 60 to 63 levels. If you want to take any long positions, wait for some more time. I believe that if you're getting any dips towards to 57 to 55 levels, that will be a very attractive level to take a fresh long position because the risk reward ratio will be favorable. 50 is acting as a very good support levels on the weekly charts. So if you want to take a long positions, wait for some more time, let the stock correct in the near term futures. If you're getting any chance or dips towards to 55 levels, you can go for a long position. Short-term target will be a 72 to 75 rupees.
Okay, so that's the regards to where charts stand for Suzlon. Next caller, Sikan is calling in from Odisha. Sikan, a very good morning to you. How can we help you?
Good morning. I'm asking for Bajaj Finserv.
Okay.
I am holding it for 2051 since last month.
Okay.
And I was hoping for a short-term gain of 2-3%.
Okay. What's your question?
Should I hold it for more month or should I sell it at a loss of 1,000?
All right, got your query. I'll take this
I
up.
bought 50 shares at
2051. Yeah, okay, got your question, Sikan. I'll take this up with Swati. Swati, what are the charts indicating for Bajaj Finserv? On the earnings front, it was disappointing for sure, the guidance also being cut. But in terms of the overall view as to where charts are concerned, should he book his losses right now or should he continue to hold for some time?
The client is looking for a very short-term period from the trading point of view. But if you look towards the last 10 to 15 trading sessions data, the stock got stuck within the range of 2000 to 2070 levels on the high side. The two-day candle is also really little bit concerned because the open and highs are the same. It's not giving a breakout of that day's high level, which indicates that the selling pressure is we are witnessing into this particular counter. Now, the another interesting fact on the negative part is that the counter is on the verge of giving the breakdown of the 20 days moving average, which is the second concern on the technical front. I believe that one should hold the long position, but if possible, try to keep the strict stop loss of 2000 levels. If it's break that level, then more selling pressure is likely to be get triggered, and which might drag a counter to us to on a downside 1950 to 1970 levels. So I will suggest hold on, but please keep a strict stop loss of 2000 levels on the downside. Positive momentum can be seen once the stock manages to give the breakout of 2070. As long as it stays below that level, the view will remain cautious for a short period of time.
All right, let's talk about Natco Pharma next. And this is a counter that has moved up in the recent past a little bit, but it's underperformed. If you look at a 6-month time frame where it's down about 40% or thereabouts, over the last week it's up about 4%. This is a question all the way from Hong Kong, and Prasad is asking, he's bought at levels of 1,422s, elevated levels. He can wait for a period of over a year, and he's wondering what he should do basis fundamentals. Asta, what's the view here?
So talking about the fundamentals of this counter, first of all, I would like to say that results will be there on 28th of this May. So I think one really need to wait at least till that time. Otherwise, I think this counter is well placed because we are, medium term optimistic on the pharmaceutical space, and in that space, we find it to be a good candidate. So right now, just wait till the results and then please put your query again. And in case if results come on the expected line, we are expecting this counter to move upwards till the level of 930 to 940.
So that's the view with regards to where Natco Pharma stands. Our next caller, Shankar, is calling in from Bengaluru. Shankar, a very good morning to you. I believe you have a query on Marksans Pharma.
Good morning, madam.
Good morning. Go ahead with your query, Shankar.
I'm already for 3 years at 228.
Okay.
I'm an investor. Now
It's a little patchy there, Shankar, but I believe I have your query with me. Marksans Pharma is the counter. He's holding 60 odd shares at 228 a piece. So I believe he's just bought it because the stock is currently trading around those levels. 244 is the level. Asta, I'll again come to you on this one. What's the view like for Marksans Pharma?
The view is positive. Why? Because in fact their bottom line has shown the growth of more than 20% in the quarterly number. In fact, the valuation seems to be okay. They are trading at a price to earning multiple of 30 against the industry price to earning multiple of 40. So view is positive on this counter. Remain invested in this counter with a price target of 270. But there is one point which I believe that this upside can be seen over the period of time, not in the shorter term. So remain invested in this counter at least for the medium term perspective with a price target of 280 at the initial levels.
All right. The next question is to you, Swati, on the charts for Tata Power. And this is a question from Vivek, who's writing in from Bangalore. And he's asking about whether or not he should add at the current price. He's bought already at a price of 394 and he's got 79 shares. What would you do? Is this a good time to average his cost price?
The view is positive on the Tata Power, this particular counter. The stock has given the downward sloping trend line breakout, which is a very positive indication on the technical front. Now it has just changed its trends from a low trend towards now the upper trend. The slowly and steadily the stock will move on the high side towards to 440 to 450 levels. I will not suggest to average it out current market price because anyways the buying price will not come down, it will go up only. I will suggest if you want to do the averages, if the stock finds any sort of a corrections between 380 to 360 levels, in that period you can definitely take a long position to average out your buying position, but not at the current market price. Upside, I'm looking for a target of at least 430 to 440 levels if the stock gives the breakout of 410 on the closing basis. So the view is positive. Hold your long positions. No need to average it out at the current market price.
Okay, so that's the view on Tata Power. We've got our next caller from Chennai. Purushottam is calling us. Very good morning to you. How can we help you?
Yeah, I bought the Reliance shares at 1453, 1,800 shares. Shall I hold it or shall I wait for the target, or is there anything more on that?
Okay, when did you buy this, and what is the time frame that you had in mind?
Matter of 10 days.
10 days back. Okay, so and what did you have in mind in terms of time frame? Was this a long-term view?
Yeah, if it is continue to increase, I don't mind to wait for long. So I would like to know the fate of that. Shall I hold it, or shall I come out, or shall I continue with that? I would like to know.
Okay, Purushottam, the reason I'm asking is because I need to know whether to ask this to the fundamental expert or to the technical expert. If you've got a view of less than 1 year, then I'll go to the technical expert. So should I go to the fundamental?
Less than and that is 1 year, I don't mind to hold it.
Okay, fine. So Swati, I'm coming to you. This is a stock that is only recently started performing, and it has played catch up, so to speak. What is the potential upside from this point?
The overall counter is definitely positive on the technical front because on the daily charts or the weekly chart, you can say the stock has given the formations of the flag pattern. It's on the verge of the breakout. Slowly and steadily, the counter is really moving on the higher side. If the Nifty and Bank Nifty performs in a period of 3 to 6 months, definitely this particular counter, we will get a new high, which might get triggered beyond 1600 levels. So if you look to hold at least for a 1 year and so period, definitely you should hold on the long period, position in this particular counters. I'm looking for a target of 1600 levels on the higher side, and beyond that level 1800s can be seen. If you want to add on any long positions, want to increase the quantity, if you're getting any dips towards 1300, definitely you can add on. But at the current stage, one shot momentum we cannot be seen into this particular counter. A zigzag momentums can be seen in the formation of the higher tops and higher bottoms. So no need to worry or the panic. This is the one counter definitely one should hold on into their portfolio. So whenever the market performs, you will get a good amount of profit from this particular stock as well.
Okay, so that's the view with regards to where RIL stands. The next question is from Surendra, who's writing in from Chennai. His question is on Olectra Green Tech. He's bought at the levels of 1277 and wants to know whether he should continue to hold or exit at the current levels. He's looking from a longer term perspective. So Asta, I'll come to you on this one. Olectra Green Tech, what's the view like?
For long term, I recommend hold on this counter because we believe in the long term that that is a counter which will definitely post a very strong numbers. So yes, the financial performance front, we believe one can remain invested in this counter for the price target of 1350 to 1380.
So that's the view with regards to where Olectra Green Tech stands. Our next caller, Mansing, is calling in from Andhra Pradesh. Mansing, a very good morning to you. I believe you have a query on Thomas Cook.
Yes, ma'am.
Go ahead with your query.
I'm holding 100 shares, madam. Average price 201 rupees, madam.
Okay.
Should I add more shares at current price? Technically it broke in its resistance level at 170 rupees. So should I add more, madam?
Okay.
I want to know technical view, ma'am.
You want the technical view, all right. All right, Swati, I'll take this up with you. What's the view like where Thomas Cook is concerned? What is the support and resistance level that you're seeing?
As of now, Mr. Singh has rightly pointed out that the counter has given the multiple resistance breakout of 150 levels on the closing basis, which is a positive indication on the technical front. The short-term target I'm looking for at least 175 to 180 level. Up to that level, we can witness a positive move, and then onwards, we might witness some sort of a selling pressure as well. So if you want to bring it down your buying price on a downside, definitely you can add on at the current market price. But if possible, try to keep a strict stop loss of 140. If it's break that level, then again we are likely to witness some sort of a selling pressure in this particular stock. So buy at the current market price. If you're getting any momentum towards to 175 to 180, book your profits till the time you can hold on the long positions by maintaining the strict stop loss of 140.
Okay, so that's the view on Thomas Cook. It's up 5% in trade today. The next question is from Raza, who's writing in from Hyderabad, and he's asking about Happy Forgings, which he's bought at a price of 830. This precision equipment manufacturer market cap of 7,700 odd crore rupees. The question is, should he hold for the long term? Asta, coverage on this?
No, Alex, sorry, I don't cover this.
No problem. So, Swati, happy Forgings, current ticker is 820 or thereabouts, up 0.2% in trade. What's the view on the long term?
As of now, the view is a little bit cautious, Alex, because the counter is trading in the formation of the low top, slow bottom formation. We are not getting any signs of the trend reversals on the weekly or the daily charts. Continuously, we are witnessing a selling pressures on every rise. So it is the only concern point on the technical front. Also, the interesting fact that the stock is not able to surpass the important moving averages on the closing basis. So the technical parameters are a little bit shows the weakness in this particular counters. Try to exit the long positions on every rise towards to 840 to 850 if you want a stop loss at the current market price. 810 will be the my stop loss, which is support provided by 20 DMA. If it's break that level, more selling pressure will be intensified, which might take a counter towards to 770 to 760. So I will suggest to sell your particular position on every rise towards to 860 levels.
That's a view on Happy Forge on the technicals. It's time to hit the rapid fire round, and ladies, you know what this means. We'll throw as many questions at you over the course of 2 minutes to keep your answers as quick and cogent as possible. Let's start with BSE Limited. Would you buy the current market price for a long-term period, considering that there is going to be corporate action? This is a question from Vijay. Asta, on the fundamentals?
Not at the current level. We would like to see some dips and then recommend a buy.
Okay, the next question is from Prabhakar, who's writing in from Huzur Nagar. He's bought SJS Enterprises, that's 1090 rupees, and wants a view on this. Swati, on the charts, what's the view like?
Yeah, as of now, the view is positive as long as the counter holds 1060 levels. The view will remain a positive. Upside levels 1150, 1170 levels can be seen. So hold your long positions by keeping the mentioned stop loss.
Okay, CDSL is the name of the counter. Mohammad Ziauddin from Kolkata wants to know. He's bought at levels of 1,175. Hold or exit is a question. Swati, on the charts?
I'm really positive on this particular counter. I'm looking for a target of 1540 to 1600. So hold your long positions by keeping a strict stop loss of 1400 on a downside and hold the long positions.
Okay, Vishwanath wants to know whether he can buy Orchid Pharma at the current market price or not from a longer term perspective. Asta, your view?
Not at the current level, I suppose. Maybe some dips at around 720 to 710.
Okay, Dixon, if I'm not mistaken, post numbers today. Devendra has bought at levels of 3,500. Wow. Would you hold on for the long term is the question. Would you book profits? Asta?
Hold. Definitely we would like to hold this counter with a price target of 18,000.
Okay, Saumik from Kolkata wants to know if he can enter SPI at the current levels. Swati, on the charts?
SPI not to add at the current market price, but if you're getting the deeps towards to 770, 760, that will be the attractive price to take a long position.
Swati, Moschip, holding 300. I don't know what the buy price is for 6 months. Would you hold or exit?
Definitely, I will hold this long position because from the last few weeks, we are witnessing very positive momentum in this particular counter. I'm looking for a target of 200 to 210. So if you're having any long position, hold on by keeping a strict stop loss of 175 rupees on the downside.
Okay, thank you so much, Swati, for that view and indeed for joining us today. Asta as well, thanks so much for taking the time. Pleasure having you.
My pleasure.
All right, and that brings us to the end of this edition of Ask Profit. We've got you stock views, we've got you management conversations, and we've also got up next Know Your Company. So from Mahima and myself, thanks so much for tuning in, and do stay tuned. This is NDTV Profit.
That's huge. That is a biggie. It's on.
Gold Plus Clear Glass. Far ho ya near, sab kuch dikhe clear.
Do you really know the company you invest in? What is the real picture behind presentations and claims?